Welcome everyone to The Forbidden Orchard. I'm Elizabeth Harper and I'm joined by my co-host Hisham. Today we're diving into Eliza Morgan Chase's novel, and honestly, I can't wait to unpack these characters. Hisham, shall we start with Dr. Priya Sharma?
Absolutely, Elizabeth. Priya's life in Mumbai is, well, it's relentless, isn't it? She's this brilliant doctor, always on the move, but you can feel how the hospital corridors are almost closing in on her. She's respected, she's competent, but there's this undercurrent of exhaustion and I'd say a kind of loneliness that's almost palpable.
Yes, and what struck me is how she's surrounded by people, patients, colleagues, even her husband Rohan, yet she's so isolated. There's this moment where she wonders if anyone truly understands the burden she carries. It's not just about being overworked, it's about longing for something more, something deeper. I think a lot of us can relate to that, even if we're not saving lives every day.
Right? And then you have Rohan, her husband. He's reliable, supportive, but their relationship is, well, it's almost too comfortable. There's respect, but not much passion. It's like they're both playing roles that society expects of them, but neither is really fulfilled. Priya's yearning for spontaneity, for a spark, and it's just not there with Rohan.
Exactly. And then on the other side we have Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al-Thani. He's in Dubai, surrounded by luxury and family legacy, but he's just as trapped, isn't he? The expectations on him are enormous. He's got this gilded cage, as the novel puts it. He's a symbol of success, but he's also suffocating under the weight of tradition and duty.
Yeah, Zayed's world is all about appearances. There's this scene where he's entertaining important guests, and you can feel how disconnected he is. He's longing for genuine connection, but everything is so orchestrated. Even his marriage to Sheikh Fatima is more about family and reputation than intimacy. It's like he's living someone else's script.
You know, this reminds me of a literary festival I attended in London a few years ago. There was this panel on East and West perspectives on love, and the debate got quite heated. Some argued that duty and tradition are the foundation of lasting relationships, while others insisted that passion and personal fulfillment should come first. It was fascinating to see how deeply these ideas run, and I think Priya and Zayed embody that clash perfectly.
That's a great point, Elizabeth. And it's not just about East versus West, is it? It's about how individuals navigate these expectations wherever they are. Both Priya and Zayed are at the margins of their own lives, looking for a way in or maybe a way out. So let's talk about what happens when Priya and Zayed's worlds actually collide. The novel really comes alive in those moments, especially at the medical conference in Dubai. You've got Priya stepping into this dazzling, almost intimidating city, feeling both exhilarated and out of place. And Zayed, who's used to being the center of attention, suddenly finds himself drawn to someone who sees right through the facade.
Yes, and the way the novel describes Dubai, this blend of tradition and modernity, it's almost a character in itself. Priya's first impressions are so vivid: the opulent chandeliers, the scent of Arabic coffee, the sheer ambition of the place. But beneath all that, she's wrestling with her own insecurities, wondering if she belongs. And then there's the cultural tension. How do you connect with someone when your worlds are so different?
Exactly. And the conference is more than just a backdrop. It's where these cultural differences are magnified. Priya's used to the hierarchy and warmth of Indian professional life. But here she's surrounded by people from all over the world, each with their own way of doing things. There's this sense of being an outsider, but also this curiosity. Can she bridge that gap?
And Zayed, for all his confidence, is just as vulnerable. He's expected to uphold his family's legacy, to be the perfect host, the perfect son, the perfect husband. But inside, he's questioning everything. There's a moment where he wonders if he'll look back and regret sacrificing his dreams for tradition. It's heartbreaking, really.
This actually reminds me of a case study I read about cross-cultural marriages in Doha. The couples face enormous pressure from both families and society to conform, to keep up appearances. Even when there was genuine affection, the weight of expectation could be overwhelming. Some found ways to make it work, but for others, the strain was just too much. It's not so different from what Priya and Zayed are experiencing in the novel.
That's so true. And I think the novel does a brilliant job of showing how these traditions aren't just abstract ideas. They're lived, daily realities. Every decision Priya and Zayed make is filtered through this lens of duty and legacy. Even their brief encounters are charged with meaning because they know what's at stake.
And yet there's this undeniable pull between them. It's not just about romance, it's about the possibility of something different, something more authentic. But the risks are enormous. If they step outside the lines, they're not just risking their own happiness. They're challenging the very foundations of their families and communities.
It's a delicate dance, isn't it? Every glance, every conversation is loaded with subtext, and the novel never lets us forget the cost of breaking those unspoken rules. It's what makes their connection so compelling and so fraught. So, Hisham, this brings us to the heart of the novel, the conflict between pursuing happiness and adhering to duty. Priya and Zayed are both standing at these crossroads, and the choices they face are anything but simple. Do you follow your heart, or do you honor the commitments that have shaped your life?
Yeah, and the novel doesn't give us easy answers. Priya, for example, is torn between her passion for medicine and her longing for a more vibrant, passionate life. She's achieved so much, but there's this emptiness that success alone can't fill. And Zayed, he's got everything money can buy, but he's still searching for meaning, for a connection that feels real. It's that classic tension between modernity and tradition, but it's also deeply personal.
I think what's so powerful is how the narrative refuses to villainize tradition. There's a real respect for the values that have shaped these characters, even as it shows the limitations. It's not about rejecting the past, but about finding a way to honor it while still carving out space for personal fulfillment. I played a character once, years ago, who faced a similar dilemma. She was torn between her family's expectations and her own dreams, and I remember how difficult it was to portray that internal struggle. It's never black and white.
That's a great point, and I think the novel's strength is in how it lets us sit with that ambiguity. There's no guarantee of a happy ending, no promise that love will conquer all, but there is hope, a sense that even in the face of overwhelming odds, it's possible to reach for something more. Maybe that's what makes Priya and Zayed's story so universal. We all want to believe that happiness is worth fighting for, even if the path is uncertain.
Absolutely. And as we wrap up today's episode, I think that's the question the novel leaves us with. What are we willing to risk for the chance at true happiness? It's a question that lingers long after the final page. Hisham, thank you for this wonderful conversation. I'm already looking forward to our next deep dive.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Always a pleasure. And thanks to everyone listening. Don't forget, there's much more to explore in The Forbidden Orchard. Until next time, take care.
Goodbye, everyone. See you soon.